I just start recording.
Yeah.
So, with sincere gratitude expressed to AICT and ATAL for supporting this initiative and making it possible, I welcome all the participants to the second day of AICT ATAL FDP titled Next Gen Management, Applications of Artificial Intelligence and Data Analytics in Business Strategy. I take this opportunity to welcome our speaker of the first session of second day, Dr. L.R.S. Mani. Sir is a distinguished career he has had of over 3 decades in reputed manufacturing organizations like Mahindra and Mahindra, Bajaj Tempo, Videocon, Escorts, in various functional areas like production planning and control, purchase, spare parts procurement, and distribution, to name a few. He has also worked full-time for nearly two decades at 2 educational institutions, and he is currently engaged as a business excellence consultant and visiting faculty at various institutions like IBS, XIME, Willinkar, Symbiosis, Acharya, Bangalore Business School, IIMS, IFIM, Jain University, Surana, and St. Joseph's College of Commerce. He's also conducting training programs for corporate executives and supports educational institutions in upgrading their systems for accreditation for NAC, NBA, and IACD. Sir's area of expertise include in the area of supply chain management, entrepreneurship development, managerial effectiveness and ethics, operation management, marketing management. I think all the papers of marketing management, sir, is an expertise in taking B2B marketing, sales distribution, and strategic management. I welcome you, sir, to this session, and I now hand over this pedestal to sir to address us on data-driven marketing strategies. I will stop sharing my screen, sir, and you can share your screen. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sahana. A very, very pleasant evening to all my learned friends here. It's more of a knowledge sharing session because the topics also that we are talking about is the hot current topic and about which lot more is yet to come. So it's a good opportunity for all of us to meet here and try to share and exchange knowledge on this the latest topic on the scene. So first and foremost, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Dr. Sahana and her team and the management of Oxford College of Engineering for having me here. I'd been to their beautiful setup once earlier for some workshop and all that. And it's a nice feeling for me also to get associated with them once again. So today's topic, all of you know, is all to do with the marketing strategies using data and using AI and all that. See, it's very nice today. So many of you are present here. It's a good thing in one way, in the sense, today's youth, the Gen Z that we talk about, they think that when they want, they can come to know with all these AI tools. That is a little, wrong thinking and wrong application of the technology. So, see, all said and done, unless those information is made available and then you interpret, you understand. All that is more important because there comes our intellect and our application of our brain, which many people, the current generation, some of them are not wanting to do for various reasons. So it is important that we keep ourselves more inquisitive, mentally, alert all the time, and try and learn more and more. So we are all maybe experts in some field or the other, but all said and done, all of us do not know everything. All of us are still, there's a long way for us to learn many things. So with that submission, I would like to start this program that, as I said, many of you are experts in your own field. You can definitely interrupt and add some point, or we will finish the PPT and we will have time for question answer. That time also you can raise as you feel better. There are no issues. Feel free on that. And I'm told that the audience consists majority the faculty members from various business schools all over the country, and I think few corporate executives. So I'm just, because the topic, the first few slides may look a little basic for some of you. Don't worry about it. We'll go a little fast. So I just want to make the proper base and then go ahead. Hello, Vandana. Vandana, please mute yourself. So the topic given to me out of this, your FDP, is on next gen management application of AI and data analytics in business strategy. And business strategy, non-functional strategy, one of the most important is your marketing strategy. So I've been asked to talk something on data-driven marketing strategies today. So as you all know, the marketing function, not that other functions are not important or anything, marketing function happens to be one of the most important functions in any organization because that is the starting point. If the customers are there, the organization is there. If there are no customers, there's no organization. So this is a function that starts and ends with customers, starts with finding out what the customers want, and ends with again finding out whether the customers are getting what they wanted. To this extent, I'll tell you, I'm sure many of you might be even, qualified on ISO systems, the lead auditor or internal auditor and all. See, I got this lead auditor for ISO 9000 long back, and this ISO International Organization for Standardization, headquartered in Geneva in Switzerland, in their first two versions, they also put the diagram calling the inputs as the normal inputs that we talk about, like men, machines, materials, and all that, and the output as the product or the service. The ISO people, in their very first version, the revision, they changed the whole thing. What they put as the input was the customer requirements, and output is the customer feedback. So that is how they change the whole thing. So today it's very, very important that the marketing strategies will drive the business strategy and the corporate strategy. So marketing starts and ends with customers, as I said, and amongst all functional areas like marketing, operations, HR, IT, finance, quality, all of that, the marketing and operations are the two direct revenue generating functions. Because marketing are the people who get the business for the organization, operations are the people who soil their hands to get the item ready for the customer. Now, coming to marketing over a lot period, earlier it worked more on intuition, past experience, and all that. The few top level executives, hello, Mr. Ajit Saw, please mute yourself. Ajit, yeah, please. So, from a more of an art form, now it has become more of a science. Science is, we have always talked on making decisions based on facts and figures. So, a factual approach to decision making is anytime better. So, marketing in the initial days that time again it was not very crucial. In fact, even in India, there was no real marketing before the 90s. There is no competition where the question of marketing and all that. It was more of sale, producing and selling the product. But after that, marketing has evolved from that in the recent past to more of a science based on facts and figures. So any organization, whether they are going to succeed, is all heavily dependent on what are their marketing strategies, the kind of strategies they are formulating and implementing. Now we talk about marketing. Let's say what is strategy? An organization, a beautiful quote says, an organization without strategy is like a ship without a rudder. Any organization not knowing what they want to achieve, what is strategy, what are their objectives, what are their vision and mission and purpose, that means they're just going along. God knows when they will stop somewhere. So you should know the direction. So that is why we say strategy gives direction to all concerned. And it's a long-term plan of action. Any organization who is able to properly, scientifically based on data and all that, formulate their strategy and then make sure that they implement the strategy. And not only that, evaluation of strategy. Today, what happens is, although the plan is made, things keep changing. After evaluation of strategy again, making changes in the strategy based on the situation, all that will determine whether you are going to succeed or not in the marketplace. And you all know strategy emanates at three levels: the corporate level, that is the head office level for the entire group of companies, the business level at each division, each business, and the functional level, that is marketing, HR, finance, operations, and all that. So innovation and creativity, you can say, definitely there and required. They are the souls of marketing, but data and use of the AI to work on the data. Data is available, but work properly on the data, that can be called the compass of marketing, because that shows you the direction, how you are going to move. Gone are the days when organizations use data to report what happened in the previous periods. Hello, Dr. Saraswati. Dr. Saraswati, please mute yourself. So what I'm saying here is, see, all before the competition and all that, it was more of a post-mortem kind of a thing. In the sense, data is just to report what has happened. And what has already happened, you can't change that. This data that you are getting can only help you to plan for the next period. Today, such organizations will not be able to succeed. Like in quality management, we talk about two terms: inspection and quality control. Inspection is the term, it's again a post-mortem operation after the event, checking whether it is right or wrong. Whereas quality control happens during the process. So now, with the help of the data, you are not waiting at the end of the period to see what. Digesh Shah, please mute yourself.
Audience, please mute yourself. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. So what we are saying is, those days are gone when we were using data only to see what has happened in the earlier period and use it to plan for the future period. But now we are trying to utilize the data, the past data, with the help of all data analytics and AI, trying to predict what is likely to happen in the future and when it is going to happen in the future. Once you are able to predict what will happen and when will it happen, you can plan your strategy properly. You are ready to face any kind of an uncertainty also that may happen in the future, because you have already kind of predicted what is likely from the trend from the past data. So that is where AI is helping us quite a lot today. AI and marketing strategy. AI in marketing refers to the use of machine learning. All these were called, as you all know, the Industry 4.0, which we have all been talking about for close to 8, 10 years now, where you have the machine learning, artificial intelligence, NLP, then big data, AR, VR, MR, digital twins. Now, digital twins, I'm sure many of you will be knowing, it's now extensively used in healthcare to make the digital replica of the patient and then try and then do it on the patient and all. It has come about in a very big way even in healthcare. Digital twins, again, even in any of the product design, there also they have been using this digital twins. So like that, all these were part of the industry 4.0. Now we talk about industry 5.0. You cannot leave everything only to this technology and the machine. What is the interaction between the humans and these machines and all this technology? How the human beings are taking advantage of this and how are we using it to our best advantage? That is what being talked about today. Now, by analyzing the consumer data, all the data that you have with you, based on which you predict what is likely to happen, how the consumer is likely to behave in the near future, with that, the marketers, the people in the marketing, they are in a position to create tailored content in the sense the content customized for that particular customer. Many cases they are able to tailor it to a great extent and offer it to the customer based on what the customer had ordered earlier. But one of the simple things like we all have come across, I'm sure there's a very simple example or day to day that we come across when we order on Zomato, Swiggy, and all that. Even before you say something that is giving you the suggestions based on your past data and all that. Even in the earlier days, even before AI, just with the help only of CRM solutions, many of the people used to take advantage, especially in the hospitality industry. I don't know how many of you are aware, Ritz-Carlton Hotel was one of the first in the early days, long, long ago, to use the CRM, the data properly and please the customers. To this extent, when a customer has come in, they know what the customer preferred earlier, and even supposing you ring up for the room service, the person is able to greet you with your name and say that these are the things that you wanted, we could not serve you. We have made it available, would you like to try and all that. So that has been happening even earlier, but with the help of AI, these things have become much faster to get the data. There you can get to the data with the people going through the CRM and all those things and utilizing it to do that. This happened long back because Ritz-Carlton Hotel is one of the first in the hotel industry, hospitality industry, to win an award called the MBNQA, Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, which was instituted in the year 1987, and the first awards were given in 1988. And if I remember correct, as earlier about 1993 and 94, these people, Ritz-Carlton Hotel, they also received the award in the category of restaurants, all that. I mean, hotel category. Not only that, this anybody wins an award can reapply for the award after making more changes in the terms of quality and customer relationship and all that, and they won the award for the second time. Very few organizations have won that award for the second time, a very prestigious award. So they have been able to do it even earlier, but now with the help of AI, things have become much more faster, much more accurate. So AI in marketing refers to the use of machine learning, the NLP, the data analytics to optimize marketing efforts. So when we talk about optimize, that is where the management comes into picture. That is where the people, the decision makers come into picture. Because AI can give you various alternatives. But then you have to take a decision where the best combination or the best mix is possible. Whenever you have two or three alternatives, and there are so many factors to be considered, the best option is the one where you're balancing all those factors and trying to find the best. That is what we call optimize. So you can use the data to optimize the marketing efforts, automate many of the tasks, and ultimately, as I said, provide personalized customer experience.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
You muted everybody, I think. Okay, got it. Yeah, now am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, now I'm unmuted. So let other people please keep mute, and whenever you want to talk, please raise your hand. I will stop and you can talk. And please keep mute. Otherwise, it disturbs all the people around, everyone. So we were talking about by analyzing all the tailored content and offers, and which ultimately increases value for both the customer and the organization. I don't know how many of you are aware, one of the relatively recent books title, it's released in 2005, it's called Blue Ocean Strategy. In the book on Blue Ocean Strategy, they came forward with a concept called value innovation. Mr. Vasu, in that book on Blue Ocean Strategy, written by two people, W. Chang Kim and Rennie Mauban, they are talking about a concept called value innovation. Value innovation is nothing but making sure you create value for both the customer as well as the organization. See, just creating value for the customers and not for your organization, and if you ignore the other stakeholders, the company is not going to be there in business for long. So simultaneously creating value for the customers as well as for the value for the organization, that is what is called value innovation. So here with all this, it's possible for us to increase the value for both the customer and the organization. And as far as organization creating value is concerned, that's another topic that all companies have implemented in the last about 10, 20 years. That is what we call as the lean concept of the lean management. With the help of lean management, we are able to identify all those non-value added activities and not necessary and try and eliminate them. And there may be certain non-value added activities, but necessary, try to minimize them and maximize the value added activities. That is how you create an increased value for the customer and the organization at the same time. Inflection point, the point at which, the maximum, it has reached at the height of the whole thing. So the inflection point created by artificial intelligence, earlier it was more of a data scientist who's had to have a lot of knowledge in analyzing data, interpreting data, and they used to interpret various models and various things. But now with the help of this, any functional engineer, any part of the company can interact with the system with your normal, using your natural language. So AI has made organizations today move from automation to autonomy. So before Industry 4.0, it was all trying to automate things. People were much earlier using manual things. Manual, we came to automation. Now, with the help of AI, automation to autonomy. Autonomy is total empowerment and total freedom to take decisions based on the data that is available in front of you. Then assist to anticipate. Initially, technology was more of a, to try to help you out in situations and make things faster and all that. Now, with the help of AI, you're able to predict. So, we are moving from assist to anticipate. Then, the descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis, as you all know, is reporting what has already happened the previous quarter or the previous half year or the previous year or whatever period, whatever has happened, those reports for analyzing, that is descriptive analytics. From descriptive analytics, we move to predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is using demand sensing to forecast what will happen in the future. And from predictive analytics, we are also now getting into prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics, with the help of this, you are able to generate a lot of alternatives and you see which is the best action model and which is the next best action model and all that, so that you are able to respond quickly. See, the most important thing today, everywhere, all organizations, we talk about only four or five very important factors. As you all know, for long, we have been talking about quality, productivity, cost. Keep on improving your quality, keep on increasing your productivity, reducing the cost. Now we have added some more. That is lean, agile, lean and agile. Lean, I just spoke to you now. Agile is the ability of the organization to very quickly respond to the changing requirements. So having the data using the AI, that is not enough. Ultimately, the action has to be taken by people like us. If we don't quickly respond to those data and to think of an action point and implement it, that is what is more important than only getting those figures and all that using data and AI. So prescriptive analytics, it helps you, it gives you various alternatives, but finally you have to decide and you have to respond fast to the changes and be alert and agile. So that is about this inflection point created by AI. Then these are some of the areas, there may be many more, some of the areas where the marketing people have to keep on planning and for which they can use the AI models and the big data, the cloud, everything. So one is behavioral segmentation. See, for long we have been talking about segmentation based on demography and geography. Yeah, that is required. Not that it is not required, it's very much required. But we are now moving into the behavioral segmentation more so because, as you all know, the last about 25 years to 30 years, India and other countries also, India has moved, from the very early days an agrarian economy, then to an industrial economy, and now to the service economy. And after service economy, we talk about knowledge economy and the digital economy. So the service economy, close to 60 to 65% of the India's GDP comes from the service sector. So the service sector, the behavioral segmentation is still more important because as consumer, many a times we do act rational and logical, but many times we also take decisions based on psychological and emotional. So all these things, based on the trend and all that, you can also go in for what is called the behavioral segmentation. Demand forecasting, early days we had all those various methods. The simplest methods like your quantitative method, the moving average, exponential smoothing and all that. Later, with the help of computer, the regression analysis, econometric analysis, or the qualitative methods like the top executive, their opinion, the Delphi, and so many methods we all know about it. Now, with all the data that is available, with very quickly you are able to forecast the demand for the future periods. So that is another thing. The third is the product mix decisions. See, no company today is a single model, single product company. They're all multi-product and multi-model companies. Now, what happens with the marketing, the salespeople generally, they are more comfortable selling only those products where customers are more interested, but some of them may be of relatively less margin to the company. So we have to have a proper mix by which, yes, the customers' things are taken care at the same time, we also make profit for the company. So proper product mix, the various alternatives, what if scenario in the computer, you can put by changing, and then it will give you the results back for you to decide what you want to do. So product mix decisions on the different models, what quantities to produce, and then of course the marketing people have the sales people have to make efforts to sell those models also where the company is getting a higher margin. That is also important. That is your product mix. Let me just see if somebody put in chat anything to do with this. No. Some chats are there. It's only good evening, I think. That's all. Nothing to do with this. Okay. So product mix decision is one of the most important part for any organization. Every organization, and now what happens is, early days, again, all people before the 90s, whether it is your marketing, operations, and HR and finance, they were all operating in silos. Each one worried about their own functional area. That is gone now. Now people have learned all these big companies. These people are all trying to work together, and every company tries to have a meeting before the next financial year. What do we plan for the next year? The strategic planning exercise and all that. So the strategic planning exercise talks about what product mix that we should plan for the upcoming year, where there you can use the past data and use of these tools. You can get a lot of reports and then you take a proper informed decision. Another thing is on the timing for new product launch. There have been cases where good products have been launched in the market but did not succeed. So that again could be because of the timing or somebody came in first, could be anything. So there again you can get a lot of data and decide the proper timing for launching any of your new products. Then platform products. I'm sure many of you know what is a platform product. Platform product is you have a base product and you make a lot of variations of that product. See, all these automobile companies, they're all coming forward with new models every 2 3 months. It is not that every model is totally different from the other model. It is not so. If it was so, it would have required so much of an investment. That's not going to be possible. There is a lot of commonality between one model and the other, so that the inventory of the components and all that you can keep low and still produce different models. So when you go for different models, there are 2 or 3 base variants. On that, you build different models. That is what we call as the platform products. It's very much applicable in your automobiles and computers. Then traditional channels versus the digital channels. So again, I'm sure all of you are aware, India is the only country in the world where you can order an item and get it at your doorstep within 10 minutes, whether it is your Zepto or Blinkit or anybody and all that. So when we are talking about the online thing, and now with all the digital initiatives, so the traditional channels like your earlier the Kirana stores, the supermarkets, and all that, they are definitely having a tough time. Not that they are totally closed, but they are definitely having a tough time because it's so convenient for people to sit at home and get things at home, and you can use the time more effectively on something else. So these online channels again requires a lot of planning, a lot of thought behind that. How do we take care? And shifting from traditional advertising. I don't know, some of the people here, older people, will definitely know in very old days, along with the landline telephone, we used to get such a big book, weighing about 2 to 3 kg, you cannot lift it even, called as a telephone directory. After that came another big Mota book called the Yellow Pages. So the Yellow Pages for the business people to advertise and all those details, sector wise, everything was available. Even now that even those yellow pages are losing their thing. With the social media that being there, things have become easier. And even advertising through the social media is much cheaper compared to any other media. So the shift in the traditional advertising to the social media, that's another thing, shift that is happening. Pricing strategies with elasticity modeling. So those items where it is highly price elastic, with the demand it changes. So there you have to have different strategies. Where it is price inelastic, it doesn't matter. So the strategies are going to be different. Most important is your customer retention. All of us, we keep telling our students, many of you here, marketing faculty here, I'm sure you must be starting with the thing saying that it is much cheaper or less costlier to retain a customer than to acquire a new customer. New customers you need to acquire, but more efforts have to be put for retaining the customers. So the behavioral segmentation just I talked about, instead of the traditional demographic segmentation based on age, gender, economic class, social class, and region, and all those things, the geography also, the demography and geography, firms now concentrate more on behavioral segmentation. One very popular thing people talk about is the RFM analysis. RFM standing for recency, frequency, and monetary. So here you try to identify the customers based on how recently they purchased a particular item. So the date of purchase, how recently they purchased, and at what frequency are they buying those items? Once a month, twice a month, 10 times a month, or whatever it is. And what is the money spent? That is also important. So all these things you are able to segment the people. So you can identify who are those customers who have spent more money. Your revenue from those customers are higher, and they have also been, purchasing very recently. So maybe you'd like to reward them with some coupons or something so that the next purchase they get some benefit. And the other people who have been spending high, but they have not been there, not recent customers, maybe you need to remind them. So you may have to go in for some aggressive win back campaigns for getting those people back onto your product or service. The other thing we call it the sentiment analysis. Any company, see, there are a lot of, apart from your proper structured data that is available in the database, there's a lot of the what really happens. I'll tell you, when the people, the customers go to the dealers or the retailers, there are a lot of information informally gathered by the retailers and dealers and all that. So those are not recorded anywhere, but it is important for these people. Many people they do that, the retailers and the dealers or the distributors, what data they collect, the customers not only talk about your product, any problem, the customers also compare your product with that of the competitor product. So a lot of information about the competitor you get through this all this data and all that. Unstructured data, maybe some comments, the reviews people and the comments and all that in various sites, emails, call logs, people who have called to the call center or anywhere, any problem. All these data, if you don't try to put them together and see what meaning you can make out of it, it may prove costly. It says you cannot afford to ignore even this unstructured data. NLP, the natural language processing we discussed, these tools are used to comprehend and understand the emotional sentiments of the customer engagement. See, AI, like we are talking about the customer emotion, today AI is also used in HR for recruiting people. So through the online and talking to them with their body language, their facial expression, AI is able to give a kind of a hint about their behavioral and about their attitude and all that. So that also people take into account while recruiting today. So here again, similar to that is here you are capturing the emotional sentiments of the customer while the customer is engaged in your item purchase or anything. VOC, that is voice of customer. This VOC integration is also utilized whether you would spend more on the current ads. So depending on the customer reaction, the customer recall of your ad and all those things, based on that, you can make a decision whether you should continue and spend more money on the current ads, or you should go in for different kind of a campaign or different kind of an awareness creation to educate the customers. So all that is possible based on this. These are some of the tools that I found that people are using the HubSpot for tracking user activities such as website visits. So how many times somebody visited the website, out of that you can make the smart list to contact those people. And the Salesforce Marketing Cloud automatically segment the users based on their engagement scores, engagement with the company's product and service. Another serious problem is your customer switching, customers going away from your company's product or service. That's another important thing that you need to keep a very close watch. PPT not visible says somebody is saying, can anybody tell me what is the slide that you are able to see? Is it customer churn and future prediction?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. Some person we could not see is written.
Yeah, yeah. I've
Maybe
seen that message, but
that may be a
it is
problem.
visible. It is visible to all of us, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So the customer churn, suddenly more and more customers leaving. If they leave, that is what we call as the customer churn. So one simple fact in marketing, as I already said, it costs almost 5 times to acquire a new customer in comparison to retaining an existing customer. So it is important for all of us, or the companies, the marketing people, to make all efforts not to lose a single customer. Unless that customer is highly unprofitable. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, visible sales return. Okay. So there are in the CRM, customer relationship management, we also try to understand the customer profitability, the cost to serve the customer versus that the profit you're getting from the customer. That is also very important. So some of those customers, if they leave, and if you find those customers spend is hardly anything, and your cost to serve that customer is more, you can just keep quiet. All the data you can get through this. So firms should not wait till a customer switches over to the competitor product or service, but with the help of the AI, you can, with the predictive analytics, you can identify those customers much before they decide to switch. See, supposing somebody was buying X quantity from you or buying from you every week, either the frequency has reduced or the quantity has reduced, that means there is something wrong. There are chances that customer is likely to go away from you. So all the data you can get and immediately work on those customers. So that is what we are saying here. Before they switch to the competitor, you should be able to get the data and start working on that. The red flag algorithm identifies and flags those customers. With the help of this, what we call as the red flag, they flag those customers and tell you. So the when a high value customer hits a 70% probability of churn. That's a churn means leaving away. There is 70% probability. The system automatically triggers a personalized email. The system itself, what we talked today of the IoT, the Internet of Things, there are a lot many things. The system automatically communicates with the concerned people. So the system automatically triggers the personalized email from that account manager, whoever is managing the account, or straight away offer some discounts or some offer and try to retain those customers. These are some of the tools that they are using to understand the unstructured data of the and the voice of the customers. Brand watch for social listening and sentiment categorization. Monkey learn, a tool to train models to classify the tickets. So many tickets in the sense anybody coming forward with their problems and issues and all that. So something that requires urgent attention can be classified separately, and bug, anything that there is a serious problem needs to be bugged, or it is only an additional feature or something that extra they are asking about. I'm sure some of you must be using this Microsoft Copilot for our emails and all that. It can immediately segregate and tell you which one you need to attend and all that. So like that, it's similar here that when you get any complaints and grievances, those tickets, it can classify what it needs to be attended to urgently, and where there are certain serious issues, you need to bug them, or which are those where they're requesting for some additional feature or something. Market basket analysis is the same as I just told you about the product mix. Basket means it's a basket of so many things. So the basket analysis, it is important for the marketing executive to continuously review the product mix. It is not just that you do it once and forget about it. Things keep changing. I'm sure we all, so some of you may be teaching business strategy or strategic management in your college. We do teach the BCG matrix, the Boston Consulting Group, and try to place all of those products in one of the four quadrants, whether star or cash cow or dog or a question mark. So based on that, you make a decision whether to continue with the product, whether to make more investments and all that. So that continues. We are not saying that is no more valid or anything. So that earlier concept of BCG matrix to analyze the market share, there you're only taking into account two main things. What is your company's market share and what is the industry growing? The market growth and the market share based on low and high on this side and low and high on that side. We categorize those four things. So that is good, but inadequate in the current competitive scenario. Deciding on the products to continue, what product we should continue, what product we should stop or promote have always been more related to the sales volume. Early days, people are worried only about the total volume of sales, the quantity. But that's okay, but it's not totally correct because there are certain products, between them, there are certain relationships. So here you are ignoring the hidden relationship between products. So that is basket analysis talks about your proper product mix to be decided, ensuring that no product by mistake you shelve and it affects the other product. That's what we are saying, hidden relationship between products. Demand forecasting is one very, very important area where it has been of great help. The traditional demand forecasting purely relies on historical sales data, and the simplest method that you people are using manually, even before computerization, like the moving average method, you need to add and divide by the number. And moving average in the sense you know that you ignore the earlier period and take the latest period like that. And exponential smoothing was one step better, saying that it is going to right up to the past periods based on the value of the exponential smoothing constant alpha. So this kind of historical averaging may not work totally in today's rapidly changing market conditions. Things are changing so fast. So the move from historical averaging to demand sensing. The demand sensing incorporates many of the external factors. It's not only your internal factors, there are many of the external factors that affect the human behavior. Like, for example, during the pandemic, for about 2 years, from 2020 and 2021, almost 2 full years, the demand for not exactly luxury product, but demand for the food products had gone down considerably. People are not going to buy the new home appliances like washing machines or refrigerators, and even people postponed the buying of even the automobiles and all that, because already the work from home concept and all had started. People are not moving out, so they were postponing it. So those kind of a thing also you have to take into account. That is what we call the demand sensing. It incorporates the external signals that affect your human behavior. So there are AI algorithms. They ingest non-transactional data. So this first is transactional data based on what transactions, what purchases, what has happened in the past. That is transactional data. But non-transactional data, such as weather forecasts, changes in weather conditions, or you observe the trends in the social media and other economic indicators, all that also you can take into account, predict changes in demand. Some of those tools are Google, Cloud, Vertex, Amazon Forecast, Blue Yonder, and all that. Then we'll talk about a few companies or few products or something. The recent past that we have come across, many of you would have read in papers and all that. These people like Metro, of late I've been going to Metro. So there they what they do is based on your purchases and all that, they keep sending you messages, giving you additional coupons or additional any gift and all those kind of things, offers that they give. So Metro segmenting customers again by the weekday shoppers versus the weekend bulk shoppers to drive the targeted SMS offer. Those SMS that they're sending, so first they segregate customers, the weekday shopper, the weekend, the low volume and the high volume and all those things. Or the Netflix, they segment users by watch behavior. The people watching those episodes and movies and other programs and all that. And also they keep a track of the device. So here Netflix initially they said in a family, five people or something, some number was there, and then now they are trying to restrict when they say device, and also they are able to sense whether the device is in the same place or in some other place, and the time of the day that they are watching. All this they try to segment the user for personalizing the recommendation for each of the viewer. Some examples of demand forecasting: Starbucks uses predictive analytics for demand forecasting by analyzing the purchasing pattern and also the weather data. Especially in US, some of the parts of the US, it has also been happening of late in Bangalore. The weather is very, very highly unpredictable. But to some extent, they keep watching, and based on that, they want to predict the demand for their cold beverages and plan their inventory accordingly. So, when it's going to be cold and hot beverages and all that. Cement companies and retailers also are able to predict which dealer is likely to place more order, because you are able to find out which are the regions, which are the areas the construction activities are happening in a big way. So the construction happen, the area or the location where it's happening in a big way, automatically the dealers in those areas are likely to place more orders for the cement. So this is another thing that's happening. Examples for pricing strategies. This we all have experienced, I'm sure, that hotels and resorts closer to the long weekends. Now, for example, if you book for your New Year, December, end thing, if you had booked in the month of October or November, you got a much better offer. And if you are going to be booking after the another these days only, it's going to be much costlier. And maybe after another few days, you may not even get it. So hotels and resorts increasing their rates automatically. It's all through the system, closer to the long weekends, based on the booking patterns. Airlines long back they introduced this, you're all aware, that automatically the price adjusted based on up to a particular seat is booked from the next seat onwards, it increases the fare based on search volume for particular destinations again. And Uber and Ola also we all have experienced that during the peak period, the surge pricing based on the real time demand and supply, how many people are asking at that time. So through that, automatically the surge pricing happens. Example for mapping customer journey, that is quick service restaurants, they try to redesign their apps to reduce the ordering steps, which will result in increased conversion by 20 to 25%. The total time or the total number of steps that you have to go through in the app, and you take more time and all that, some people may give halfway, they give up. So that is why based on that, how many people did not get converted. See, like people visit a shop, 100 people visited a shop, only 20 purchased item. That means they have been able to convert only 20% of the people. The remaining came and went. Similarly, people getting into those sites and going away in between, that should not happen. They redesign their apps, and they increase the conversion rate by about 20 to 25%. Mintra long back, the tracking the scroll depth and click patterns and all that to redesign their website, their home page and all that. And they try to reduce again the bounce rates in the people again going and coming back without purchasing. Example for sentiment analytics. During COVID 19, hospitals used social listening to detect misinformation and respond with targeted campaigns. So, this also with the help of data, they try to do this by which they wanted to ensure that whatever misinformation or anything that is spreading, they try to respond with proper campaigns to educate the people. Popular footwear makers like Nike tracking conversations in social medias like Instagram and others. Based on that, they are communicating, coming forward with new product introductions. Banks tracking the digital chatter around loan rejection frustration. Again, because of the total cumbersome procedures or any reason, any loan getting rejected and people talking in the digital and social media and all that about that. Based on that, they have redesigned the loan processing steps and made things easier. Finally, a few companies I'll talk, and then I'll be coming to the end of my presentation in another 10 minutes or so. And I would request all of you to raise queries. Whatever I know of, I'll definitely answer. Or the other way around, some people who have more knowledge and all these things or experience many of these things, please come forward and come with your experience so that it will be of great benefit to all the people who are present here, including me. So some examples of just few companies that have taken the Coca-Cola, they use to sift the vast data, including the social media interactions and all that, to gain insights in the customer tastes and all that. And Coca-Cola also, this I had not known, I only read somewhere. They tailor the marketing messages, creating personalized advertisements and product recommendations for individuals. The Share a Coke campaign was an example where they found the bottles with their names, which heightened the kind of engagement of the person, getting closer, identifying yourself with that kind of engagement. Then Netflix, we already talked about it. Netflix goes one step further. It is not only recommending you the different contents, but they are determining what contents to produce in future based on the watch people who are watching and the viewers, their comments and their things even in social media and otherwise. Based on that, They are deciding on what content to produce in future and stream it. By leveraging viewer data, Netflix create targeted campaigns and they promote content aligned with the viewer preferences. So all the content that they could make it purely in line with the preferences of the viewers. Amazon has been a really one of the latest. See, Amazon is one of the companies all of you know, among all the companies we talk of today, in terms of using the technology to great advantage. See, there are companies, technology companies like Google and Microsoft, all this, but Amazon is slightly different because it is affecting the day-to-day life of most people. Most people day-to-day life is affected, and Amazon, when they started just with the books alone, and then they shifted to all the items. And I'm surprised on one thing with Amazon. They did not properly read the Indian, the customers, and they could have come into India much earlier. So what happened was people are feeling in India the at least about 15 years back, it was a feeling amongst the minds of people that Indians will never buy anything online. So maybe it was with our generation, the older generation. People say that unless you see, feel, touch, you will not buy a thing. So Amazon didn't want to take the risk, or Amazon didn't. Hello, it was Flipkart. These two people, Sachin Bansal and Benny Bansal, they were working with Amazon based on their experience. When they came forward and they took that big risk and they succeeded, and then Amazon came. But use of technology wise, amongst all these companies, they were the first to come forward with the drone delivery. Amazon is the first delivering in you. Hello, Dr. Chabi, please mute yourself. Dr. Chabi, please mute yourself. Dr. Chabi, please mute yourself. Yeah. So what I was saying, Amazon was the first company to indulge in drone delivery in UK and US, many parts. A driverless vehicle is delivering the parcel. And they have been talking, it's a little more imagination, but it will happen one day perhaps. They are talking about a warehouse in the sky and delivery through the air drones. But all that will take time and it may happen. But the land drones delivery is already happening in UK and US. And the kind of technology, the robots that they use, because I happened to visit one of those fulfillment centers. It's about 80 miles from London, near Birmingham, a place called Dunstable, where it is unimaginable. The total length of the conveyor belt inside that building is 16 miles. And that entire building, the square feet is 7,50,000 square feet area. And all robots. As soon as the person presses the button of the computer based on the customer order, immediately the robot gets a signal. Robot goes to the place where the item is there and brings that rack and puts it in front of the person for packing. So technology-wise, Amazon has definitely gone ahead of many of the other companies because they are into, interaction with the customers almost on a day-to-day basis. Today, most of us here cannot live without Amazon. Although Flipkart is there, but still majority of the thing you go and do a small research in any of the multi complexes in Bangalore. A person comes into our own complex. When we get an Amazon, it says that he's come and he is to handle 78 more houses. So that is the kind of a thing. So technology wise, they are definitely much ahead and they have done a lot of things. Their recommendation engines analyze customer behavior to suggest products tailored to individual shoppers and enhance their overall buying experience. And the strategies adopted by Amazon with help of AI and data, it has helped them to achieve very high level of customer loyalty. That's what I said, while achieving impressive revenue growth and profitability. And even again, the returns, initially people used to find problems. I'm told returns are also no problem now. Amazon, anything you're not happy about for you to return. In some other countries, like in UK, they don't take it back from your house. The returns, they expect you to put it in some place nearby. They have established a lot of centers from where they collect and take it back. So you have to go from your house to that place, maybe a kilometer or two maximum, and put it in those places, those centers from where they collect. But in India, they collect from your place. So this is what is about. Amazon is really, as the word, the name says, it's really amazing the way that they have come up in the last few years, especially with the help of use of technology. McDonald's also, they've integrated AI in order taking kiosks and mobile apps to streamline the entire ordering process and tailor promotions for the each individual preferences. The machine learning algorithms have been deployed by them to analyze customer data and target all promotions effectively and also suggest complementary items. What do you mean by complementary items? Complementary, unfortunately, we Indians are very good in English, but many people still get confused when people get confused between these two words, complementary with a PLI and complementary with PLE. Complimentary with PLI is something that you get free. You book a hotel room, you get complimentary breakfast. But this complimentary, what you see on the screen is with E, which is different. Here it means that goes together. So that is what these people are able to suggest when you want something. What are the other items that go with it, and they are able to suggest complementary item during the ordering process itself. And some of the other recent things I came across, I came to know in Zomato also, if you are unhappy, some problem, you put it in the thing and you get a refund. But I came to know again, we Indians, again, somewhere, we try to take advantage or try to, some people, maybe not all. I was told that Zomato found that some of the people are purposely, asking for refund again and again, saying something or the other. So again, they have used this some tools to flag those customers. So such customers they are either ignoring or they are asking for more details and things like that, or they're just giving a they're not giving them the refund straight away. They're giving them a credit note saying that that amount you can adjust in your next purchase. This is what I came to know from some people while talking. The Zomato has made all this, flagging those customers who are asking for refund again and again, saying that something has gone wrong. If you really did not receive an item by mistake, it has happened, you ask for a refund, that is fine. But some people take undue advantage. And I was told that such a thing is happening, and Zomato has been doing this. This is what I came to know. So, with this, I'm coming almost to the end of my presentation. So, all those organizations have been very, very quick to adapt their marketing strategies based on AI and data analytics. Definitely have achieved vast improvements in customer satisfaction. The first is the customer satisfaction, and equally important is your improved operational efficiency. If you are not able to maintain your profitability, however good the customer satisfaction, you are not going to be there in business for long. So these two things have to go hand in hand. Improvements in customer satisfaction as well as improved operational efficiency. And once the customers are satisfied, today we don't talk about customer satisfaction. It's become a outdated word if you ask me. Because if you have given me what I wanted, I'm happy. What is that to be satisfied and dissatisfied? I paid for it and you're giving me, it's okay, fine, I'm just neutral. But if I'm getting something I did not expect you give me, then I get delighted. So that is where the thing comes in. Just being satisfied, it doesn't mean anything. So that is why people who are satisfied and continuously engage with that company, enhanced customer engagement. And with this, those customers with the enhanced engagement, spreading a positive word of mouth that results in improved brand image. And finally, of course, any business anywhere, the ultimate test is in whether or you are able to improve your bottom line. Bottom line is nothing but your net profit. Unless you make profit, you can't be in business for long. So, with all these kinds of tools, ultimately you have to see, well, how much, again, a cost benefit analysis. Now, these many of these tools are not that costly for people to buy, organizations to buy. We people individually, we cannot buy, we don't buy. We only use the free versions like the Chat GPT or Perplexity, all those things we might use. Only the free versions, which may or may not be 100% foolproof. Again, if we use it, we have to use our brain to see what we have received is correct or no, and then segregate it and use it properly. So to that extent, it is okay. But organizations can easily afford to buy those licensed versions of those tools and see how much they are spending. And with the help of that, how much of their bottom line improvement take place year on year. That helped all this digitalization. So India is again the only country that has gone so high in digitalization within a short period. One of the best in India, again, the passport. You go to the passport office and you finish everything within 1 hour or 2 hours, and the next day or next to next day or maximum the third day, the passport is received at your doorstep. Things are totally automated, and that is, of course, I'm sure many of you might know, it is thanks to TCS. TCS are the people who have developed that thing. So with this, I would like to stop here because we still have about 15 minutes, I think. Yeah, 13, 7, 13, 17 minutes. And thank you very much, Dr. Kateyan. He says, well seasoned the presentation, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Kateyan. If you have been benefited, if you feel it's good, I'm extremely happy. But as I said, we should, whatever we know, whatever we read, and whatever we experience, we should share it with people. So it's very nice having all of you here and interacting with you. Now it's open for questions. Anybody, please unmute yourself or you raise your hand, whatever way it is. And please go ahead, either ask questions or share your own experience to add on to something. This doesn't cover everything. There may be a lot of things I've left uncovered, which you can definitely add on to. So please, I request all of you are seasoned faculty members, senior people working in reputed B schools. I'm sure you will be able to add on to what I have spoken. Please go ahead. Dr.
Sir,
Sahana, maybe you can ask them to raise hand or you can ask them to unmute and talk.
they can
Whatever.
unmute themselves.
And
But
talk.
yeah.
Mani sir, good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Sir, this is Dr. Ajit from Symbiosis.
Yeah.
I first of all thank you for this wonderful session.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I just hope for some hands-on, but then fine. Whatever you have spoke, it was really insightful. My question, and I just want your reflection on it,
Yeah.
that these days neuromarketing is going on,
Yeah.
and companies are more into it to understand the behavior and other things.
Correct.
Uh, I mean, how do you see this neuromarketing and the ethical practices related to this neuromarketing?
Hmm.
And I mean, like, will it be, will it give it back to the marketeers, or it's just like a marketing gimmick? What is your take, sir?
Yeah, I would say that as of now, it's more of a marketing gimmick. For the simple reason, see, neuromarketing, it is not only the management aspect, the medical, the science also comes into picture. So how, see, so far it has not happened that somebody is able to read the other person's mind totally. Now, what I'm thinking, what I'm talking, but what I'm thinking, you don't know. You cannot say. So, neuromarketing is a good concept where to talk about what is happening in the customer's mind. But many times, what happens is from the behavior, from the body language, or from his words using and all that, to some extent, you are able to predict. So to that extent, it is okay, but going deep into it, and the second part is the ethical part. The ethical part is even not only with neuromarketing, the ethical part is the big question mark even with AI. Even with AI, still people are debating on the ethics part, where from they are getting all the information, are they acknowledging it, and how they're getting, and what is right, what is wrong. All those things, the ethics part is still, especially the AI tools, where they're only bringing the data from various places and putting it in front of you. Those kinds of tools and all, the ethical part is still being questioned. So my personal feeling is it's still in the nascent stages and it's more of a gimmick. But over a period of time, we never know. It might still happen to some extent. Marketers will be able to get some advantage with the neuromarketing. That's my feeling.
Mani sir,
Yeah, please.
there is one question in the chat box by
Yeah,
Dr. Sheetal.
yeah.
Her question is how the surge price is different from a fixed price, even when Ola or Uber has regular fixed customers.
Yeah, regular fixed customers. Now, where is the question of regular fixed customers in the sense there are regular customers? I'm not really aware whether there are fixed. What do you mean by fixed customers? It's not clear to me. People are regular customers that I use Ola or Uber almost every day. I'm a regular customer, but have I engaged with Ola or Uber that I'm going to be using and some kind of an agreement that has been come, then it becomes a fixed customer. So, to my knowledge, there is no such thing. Regular customers fine, but the surge pricing is purely based on the demand for the vehicle at that particular point of time. Now, it is possible with the help of AI, if Ola or Uber want to treat those customers differently, the surge pricing comes automatically based on the demand and supply. But at that time, it is possible for the AI tool to find out whether that customer spend with Ola or Uber, if it is substantial, they can definitely again use the tool to reduce the price for that customer. Whether it is happening or no, I do not know, but it is easily possible that for regular customers, even with the surge pricing, you can go through the spend by those customers in the past. Based on that, you can give them lesser price than the surge price. It's possible. That's what I would say. Anybody else?
Okay, I take it that they have understood, sir, and
Yeah.
we have answered. I've just looked into the chat, and
Any other question is there? No.
there is no
Okay.
other questions, sir.
Okay.
So our next speaker, an international speaker, is also joined us now.
Okay.
So I take it that if no question, then yes, sir. There is no other question now, and Dr. Sunita, I request Sunita to propose the vote of thanks for this session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening, dear participants. It is my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks for this enriching and insightful session on data-driven marketing strategies. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Dr. LRS Mani, Business Excellence Consultant and visiting faculty, for sharing his vast experience and practical insights on data-driven marketing strategies. Sir, your 3 decades of experience across reputed manufacturing organizations and educational institutes have truly illuminated our understanding of how artificial intelligence and data analytics are transforming business strategy in modern era. I extend my sincere gratitude to our chairman, Dr. SNVL Narsimharaju Garu, for his visionary leadership and unwavering support in organizing this faculty development program. My grateful thanks to our principal, Dr. Rakesh SG, for his continuous encouragement and commitment to faculty excellence. Our sincere gratitude to AICTE Training and Learning ATAL Academy for sponsoring this comprehensive 6-day online faculty development program and providing us with this valuable learning opportunity. I thank all the faculty members and participants who have actively engaged in this session, making it interactive and meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisa.
Thank you, Dr. Sahana. Thank you, Dr. Sunita. And thanks to the entire Oxford fraternity. Nice to have interacted with you and hope to be in touch with you in future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So if you can stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yes, sir. And thank you very much. We'll meet very soon, sir, on an occasion.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I'm leaving the meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Hello, Rodrigo, sir, you have joined?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. Rodrigo, sir, I have made you the co-host, so you could share your screen once I stop sharing my screen, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, I take this opportunity to welcome our second international speaker, Professor Dr. Ciro Rodriguez. He is a senior member of IEEE, a full professor at the National University of San Marcos and the National University Federico Villarreal, a renowned recognized researcher by National Registry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Sir has over 180 publications indexed in Scopus, Web of Science and IEEE database. He is also a peer reviewer for prestigious journals such as Applied Sciences, Energies, Ambient Intelligence and Humanized Computing, Multimedia Tools and Applications, Processes, Sustainability, Separations, Helion, and others. He holds 2 national and 2 international patents. He has pursued advanced studies at the Institute of Theoretical Physics in Italy, the US Participle Accelerator School in the USA, and the Information Technology Department Policy at Korea Telecom in South Korea. His research interests include artificial intelligence, health, environment, cybersecurity. He also coordinates and evaluates national and international research projects, directs undergraduate and graduate theses. Sir is also author of many books and book chapters. He has been director, editor, and speaker at international conferences, recipient of 2022 and 2023 UNM-SM Engineering Award for scientific merit for his scientific output and various contributions in the research arena. I now request Professor Sir to address us and share his pearls of knowledge on the topic IoT and AI integration. Over to you, Professor Sir.
Okay, thank you very much for all the authorities that invite me to participate in this conference. I'm happy also to meet you again because I have the opportunity to be present in your university and share with some authorities and professors and know your infrastructure, your installations. And it was very, very good for me to share and have the opportunity to share with the students also and feel the warmth of the people from India. Thank you very much. So I will start with this subject about the IoT and artificial intelligence integrations that actually is very important in the advance of technology. So we will need to care and pay attention at what is the changing in the world and how we have to deal it in the coming years. So to my presentation will have an introduction. I will talk before IoT and artificial intelligence, but it's important to know how is the starts, how this was born. The Internet of Things and artificial intelligence and the embryonic IoT and also the architecture of IoT and how it is integrated with artificial intelligence. And also very important to talk about what is the data flow from sensors to intelligent actions and how is this changing in the futures with not just integrating artificial intelligence with IoT, if not considering also the quantum computing and quantum cryptography for security in industrial and IoT. These are concepts that we need to know to see what is coming in the future. So it's important to know that there is a synergy known as AIoT that is transforming various global sectors: education, agriculture, security, industry, business. And also it's very important to know that this integration is widely used to optimize the context and the smart cities of pharmaceutical manufacturing and also design and sustainable built environments. Okay, all looking for the efficiency of all process in each organization. So there is actually a very good advance of analytical methods that are including a variety of machine learning models, also with the creation of the digital twins, which are in monitoring in real time with predictive capabilities that are doing very interesting this advance of technology. So also it's very important to consider the specific applications range from building management systems that very important is the subject of your interest, and also how to control the climate and energy use, and also the environment of all monitoring work, for example, and also forecasting the wind energy. And so there are diverse applications. Despite the significance of the benefits, it's very important to know that there is a critical challenge that will be addressed. And so including about how we'll interconnect the data with scalable solutions that also about security, the privacy, and ethical compliance, that they are actually the worries that we can know how it's going in the world. So it's important to know that there is before the integration of IoT and artificial intelligence, there were two separate wars. These two separate wars in between 1915 and 1990. So artificial intelligence and IoT as separate concepts. There were two concepts that were working alone. And so artificial intelligence was developed centered on isolated computers using just logic and the early neural networks, okay? So this produced that there was no an infrastructure for distributed sensors or connected devices that were available. So this was established that the core idea of sensor-rich setting was controlling just by intelligence and algorithms that were developing with the pass of the time. So this period treated the artificial intelligence as an ubiquitous computing, okay, as separate fields where ubiquitous computing was envisioned to an environments which could be add embedded sensors and smart devices. Okay. So in this process was a foundational vision of what will eventually, okay, evolve into the concepts to know what actually we know as AIoT. So there are between 70 and 80 in the era of the Spark systems, where there was some new discoveries and developments. We understood that appeared the expert systems, that they become very popular with programs that encode human expert knowledge. Yes, expertise using large sets of if-then, okay, and also using the Bayesian theory, okay, with rules in domains such as medicine, finance, engineering, and troubleshooting. So these systems typically run on isolated computers, okay? So computers were working alone, okay, with mainframe or workstations using this internal database, not on a large networks of heterogeneous devices, diverse devices that actually works, for example. So one of the pioneers robots was Shaky. This is Shaky. This is the robot pioneer that combined the perception, the planning, and movement. Okay, movement. But these were single research platforms. Okay, that in controlling labs environment there was no distributed. Okay, so no huge fleets of connected objects were in this experiment used. So there were key limitations with respect to IoT by data mainly that came from files on disks, for example. Okay, we have a structured database and also manually enter informations that day-to-day use of the people in management or handle information. So there was a small number or specific sensors or cameras in robots, but not from the wide or and also no chip, also no distributed mesh of sensors. So there were pre-internet or early internet infrastructure that was not ready to support millions of devices streaming data in a real time. So this is the bottom line where we have the boxed artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence was running inside a computer, okay? So with the very little artificial intelligence embedded that in physical objects of device that later was used that introduced this the concept of Internet of the Things. So we passed to the embryonic and IoT and ubiquitous computing and sensor-rich environments between 80s and 90s, okay? So what happened in these decades? Okay, there was a parallel working with the mostly of different research community that were integrating. So about the foundations of what we know actually the IoT or Internet of Things that they start to appear even with the term of Internet of Things that was not existing at the moment. So in the late of 80s, and the famous article in 1991, the computer of the century by Mark Weiser that introduced this concept of ubiquitous computing, okay? And so it's integrating and hidden, okay, device that can be connected together, okay, so controlled. So with this concept of ubiquitous computing was one of the initials, okay, and was the core idea that the hundred of tiny and invisible devices could be embedded into the environment. These devices would be in walls, in furniture, tablets, pads, and boards, hidden, okay, so in the ambient, okay, that could be not perceived by the human, okay? Just was in different parts. So this is essentially the conceptual precursor of the everyday connected objects, okay? So it is very close to the understanding of what we have actually the Internet of the Things. The early systems introduced the context-aware computing. And this was used to tracking user locations and also which adapt their behavior based on context and location, who is present, what the user is doing, time, day to day, okay? So it convert in part of our daily activities. Initial projects included the Active Batch, okay, and Park Tab for dynamic service routing, for example, phone calls, message access, okay, that we used to custom to with the service of communication, for example. And also we start to hear about the smart rooms, and there is two concepts, MIT worked in the smart rooms and the Stanford University working in the IO rooms, okay, that were using these sensors for intelligent assistance. So these rooms recognize users and interpret gestures and speech. Okay, just interpreting the own context. Okay, so this was not information that was distributed. So just interpreting for the ambient, okay, environment, and so recognize these gestures and speech. So IoT and artificial intelligence were absent due to the lack of ultra-cheap microcontrollers, because in this stage there was no these microcontrollers that actually exist. And also there were no the Wi-Fi and no the 4G and 5G, and also the cloud that actually we have. So it's important to understand that this process is a continuous process where all is the technology was increasing, okay, and adapting and joining concepts and device. So it's important to know or understand that the artificial intelligence was focusing in the logic, in the expert systems, and the early neural networks running inside these isolated computers. And also it's important to highlight that the ubiquitous computing was envisioned to environments full of embedded devices and sensors with smart rooms, budgets, and tabs. And also it's important to know that no IoT and artificial intelligence was before. So there was just a core idea that a sensor-rich physical environment that was controlled by intelligent algorithms, by not to share the information, just to control one environment. Actually, this has changed because actually it can be materialized into the Internet of Things with artificial intelligence, node of AIoT, okay, like the integration of these two concepts of very importance, actually. So, to understand this process of change, it's very important that we can know that there is an architecture of IoT and artificial intelligence integrations. And this architecture is composed, okay, by layers of the solution with the high-level architecture. So one of these layers is the perception layer, okay? The other layer is the transport layer, processing layer, application layer, okay? But in this layer, it is we have a physical world where includes all the devices that sense, act, or act and sense, both, with the typical components. So what are these typical components that we use in this? So sensors, okay, the sensors that measure the physical variables like temperature, humidity, heart rate, ECG, motion, GPS, pressure, light, vibration, and other more sensors. Okay. So also include this layer that convert real-world phenomena into digital signals. Okay. So all the analog signals will be converted in digital signals, okay, that capturing the real world in the moment. But not just the use of sensors was important. It is the actuators also very important in this process. Okay, so the actuators performs the actions on environment, okay, because they will do an answer of what are taking with the sensors. Okay, so they are based on the decision from higher layers that can open, close a valve, for example, or adjust the motor speed, or turn lights on, off, or deliver a dose, or in a smart pump, for example. So these actuators with sensors need to be embedded device with microcontrollers. So we use in this embedded device Arduino ESP3032, STM32, and wearables, medical devices, industrial controllers like PLC, okay, smart meters, and others, okay, embedded devices that gather sensor data and run in a simple logic content in a very tiny AI artificial intelligence models like knows AI, tiny machine learning, time ML. But with these sensors, for example, sensors like I take here for motion sensors or sensors for hair, rate monitors or track sensors, ultrasonic sensors, there was very important because they are connected with a microcontroller, okay, and could be also have an answer with an actuator. So it's very important to know the role of IoT in this process, because here is generate the raw data that artificial intelligence will analyze. So this is very important in advanced scenarios where the simple age of artificial models could run directly in this device. For example, in device where anomaly detection, for example, is very important to identify where are the anomalies. Okay, so also in fall detections in a wearable, okay, in the wake word detection, well, or in a smart speaker. So this local processing could be possible to immediately and low latency applications, okay, be applied. And the examples also include the devices that anomaly detection and local wake word detection, okay? So the distributing the intelligence actually is the key to the responsive and efficient artificial Internet of Things, okay, assistance with this integration. And the another layer is the network layer, that is a communication layer. This communication layer is the nervous systems, okay? The nervous system, very important, that transport data that is collected from the devices of the sensors between and processing this in the infrastructure, okay? So we have here typical technologies, okay? These typical technologies are short-range local, for example, okay? We have the Bluetooth, BLA, Wi-Fi, ZigBee, Z-Wave, NFC, and RFID, okay? That these are devices, okay, or technology short range, okay? But the sciences, the advance of the science also have done the possible to use long range, low power, okay, as the use of LoRa, okay, LoRa1 on Sigfox, NV, IoT, and LTE and N. Actually, for example, I'm working in a project using long range LoRa to detect forest burn, okay, in the jungle, for example. Okay, it's very important to control with a distance, okay, using sensors. Using this technology of LoRa is very, 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 we have rapid communication and also collect the data from the environment where is happening some problems, okay? And they have multiple applications, actually. And also the other typical technologies are the cellular of the high bandwidth. Actually, we know that the evolution of the generation of the cellular bandwidth with 3G, 4G, 5G, and in the future, the 6G, okay, that this also will do a very, very, very big change in the world because the increase in the bandwidth and also more information, or faster information, okay, that is used actually for mobile devices, okay? So in vehicles, remote sensors with high data needs. So it's important to work to see the future, how we manage this, the use of these technologies. So we have also considered how we can do the transformation with the role and Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. So we need to understand it's important to know that the carries data from the sensor device to the gateways on edge nodes or cloud, okay? Will be an interconnection of this information to share, okay, in real time. So one of the problems is the latency that is critical. For example, in autonomous vehicles or real-time health monitoring is very critical because it's important, for example, in a driver is conducting a vehicle, and also if there is no information very, very in the instant, it could be an accident and loss of lives. So also in health, okay, in real-time health monitoring is very important. So latency is very critical in this kind of architectures. So the choice of the network technology will affect directly in how fast the artificial intelligence can react, okay? So connecting these sensors with the actuators and also with artificial intelligence, with the algorithms that can answer on these situations. So it's a very important, the quality of networks, because the latency of reliability on bandwidth are very important because the conditions where we place the artificial intelligence models is very important, okay, for more at the age when the connectivity is poor or there is a delay that is unacceptable. So how we will process this information? So we have the intelligent layer, okay? And there is the layer of processing all the data, okay? All the data with all the algorithms that will manage the data, okay? And give the information to make decisions. So where data becomes information and decisions, okay? So it is usually divided in 3 subject layers. One of the 3 sublayers is the edge artificial intelligence. So this is on device or in the gateway processing. So it means that it runs directly on the device. That could be the microcontroller, the SoC, or the smartphones, or the wearable, okay? So also it's important on the nearby gateways or industrial PC, where in the factory, for example, in the hospital or a smart building, or on the roads, okay, on the traffic, for example. So for this, we need to consider the characteristics that that are very important for the success. For example, the very low latency with decisions in milliseconds. A proposal, I have a history about in my country. One colleague called me because he needs to solve a problem with a physician create systems that can send signals when a person is sleeping, okay? So this physician, this doctor, hired a developer that the idea could do in a system, okay? Implement in a system. So when they start with 3 seconds of the answer when the person was sleeping, okay? So they using a device, a watch, where it sends the signals to may wake up to the driver when it's conducting. But this system was sold to a company, that the company showed to other company, and so the other company also buy the same systems, but the systems was created in a small project just for 100, okay, 100 wearables, okay, watch wearables that detect and wake up. But the company create the web page, the website where offer the service. So many more requirements of service coming. But when they try to see how many clients have, they have more than 2,000 clients, okay? But the system was working no in 2 or 3 seconds. It was delaying in 5 minutes, okay? So do you understand that 5 minutes to wake up a driver that is driving a car in 5 minutes is terrible, okay? It's not possible. So this colleague have to change, okay, to change and increase all the project to acquire more technology, okay, to can solve the problem, okay. Actually, is not in 2 or 3 seconds, because every time that is increasing is it hard to control, okay. So it needs to change the platform also. Technology platforms use control the latency, okay. That is very important. So another characteristic very important is that works even with intermittent of poor connectivity. Okay, you know that we can have the best device, but what about if we have no energy? Okay, and what about if there is not connectivity? Okay, for example, what happens if we are doing this conference or conversation, and we have poor connectivity? So will be many loss of communication. So it's very important to consider this the connectivity, and also the limited computing power of memory. That is another problem that should be solved. Okay, so models must be small but also efficient. Okay, to answer to the requirements. It's important also consider that the fog near edge processing. Okay, we saw the edge artificial intelligence, and also it's important to know how the fog near edge processing. Okay, so this fog processing runs on local servers. Or many data centers near to the device. It permits to be close to the device and the answer. Okay, so in the factory, for example, in the hospital and in the buildings, in the telecom operators, is working in a local mode. Okay. So the characteristics of this in fog processing is that they are more computing power than in a single edge device, and also still close to the source of the data. Okay, it's important. So it can aggregate data from many devices in the same location. Okay, it can be shared, the information. Also, with the fog processing, will be reduced the need to send all raw data to the cloud. Okay, as also only summarize on alerts that may go up. Also important, we want to have a privacy of the data, okay, and security of the data also, okay, without using the cloud. And also the other intelligent layer is the cloud processing. This time is considering the cloud processing with artificial intelligence. So in these platforms is in large platforms like AWS or Azure or GCP or private clouds, for example, okay, can be shared information. So the characteristics of this using the cloud artificial intelligence are that we will have massive computing power and storage, okay? And also we will have a suitable and training large artificial models with deep learning, complex time series, and multimodal models, okay? Because, we need more processing, okay? More servers that are working the big amount of data. And so it's very important to count with this kind of technology or models. So also there is suitable for long-term analytics trends, okay? So for example, forecasting, user behavior, fleet level insights. And also we will let us to combine the data from many sites, devices, and regions in different parts, okay, in the city, on the world also, okay. So we have examples, for example, in the training of global model using data from thousands of machines in multiple plants and also analyzing the long-term data from identify risk patterns, and also running digital twins. Here we are using the concept of digital twins of factories, okay, where the cities as hospitals needs to have the information. Oh, I know that the worries always is the trust on the cloud, okay, the information that we upload to the cloud. This is the big gap that where most of the people has the no certainty that is information is managed the adequate form. So also we have in this scenario also we need to understand that it's important that we have an application layer. The application layer is the layer of the service and business, okay? When we can see the results, okay? Our client will take the decisions, make decisions with the information, with all the data processed, okay? So this application layer is the face of the system, okay? So it's the part that users see and interact with and where the business value is delivered, okay? That is the big boss will take the decisions. For example, what is happening with the students, with the professors in education, or how is the working in the hospital or the factory, okay? How can I control? And so the typical elements in these application layers are the dashboards that could monitoring consoles, okay? So also we can use web dashboards, okay? For example, for doctors, engineers, for city managers, or for operation teams that are in this process. So also the dashboards and monitoring consoles will help to manage graph in real time, okay? Alerts, okay? Also have the maps, okay? Also have the KPIs, and also know the status of the device, okay? For example, the battery, okay? Or the usage of one device. Also, these dashboards are important, but also are important the mobile and desktop apps. Also, we are now actually on all we manage in the mobile, okay? Mobile is important, is the computer that we have in our hands every moment, okay? So the apps, for example, for patients, farmers, technicians, drivers, and citizens that are involved in the process of know what is happening, for example, okay? And also show recommendations, okay? For example, alerts. For example, in my country is a seismic country. And so the government implements alerts for training people to have to act, okay, the behavior when there is a seismic, okay, earthquake, for example, okay. So how they immediately, what actions should take. And also this mobile desktop is used to adjust the insulin dose, for example, or check the machine, or irrigate parcel A or take the route B, okay? That is very important when this route is closed, for example. Okay, it's very important the use of this in this application layer is important is the service that we will show to the client, okay? And the client will make the decisions, good decisions, okay, for the business or also for the health or for the persons. And also it's important for decision support systems. So for clinicians, for example, in triage suggestions and risk scores, okay, you know, sometimes the hospital are crowded, okay, and this is very important to make decisions, fast decisions, okay. Also for operations with which machine to service first, okay, where to send the maintenance teams also. And also for energy and utilities and how the balance loads and when to activate generators or storage. And also it's important the APIs, okay, and integration. You know, these applications, okay, will integrate the IoT with the artificial intelligence platform, okay, that will help to expose these APIs to integrate with hospital information systems, okay, with ERPs, CRMs, external systems, for example, identification, okay, to know in security also, for example, to know the person exactly what is the identification, the ID, evaluate and verify if it is correct. And also the role in IoT on artificial intelligence with the application layer is to translate the artificial intelligence outputs into human decisions, because it will show the explainable information and provides the feedback to retrain and improve all again the artificial intelligence models, because it is a continuous learning. Okay, it's a continuous learning, SI error, okay, where we are proving no exists a very, very, very secure system or exactly system, okay? It's in a continuous processing like like you are doing actually, trying to know more information, learning, okay, trying to understand, okay, and having new ideas, have to do new projects. And so now let's see how the data flow is how is the behavior of this flow from sensors to intelligent actuators, okay, intelligent action, answer. So in the first step is the capture of the data, okay? So the sensors will measure physical variables, for example, temperature, vibration, heart rate, okay? So this data is collected, okay, by the device, okay, in the microcontroller, variable, or sensor mode, okay? So in this capture step, we are capturing the data. So we have some basic processing that may occur, for example, filtering the noise or simplest thresholds or compressing the data, okay? And also, when we have captured the data, we need to do the transmission, share the data, okay? In this process is how we will send the data, okay? So the device sends the data through the communication, okay, layer, okay? In this process, we can use Wi-Fi, 5G, LoRaWAN, Bluetooth, okay, in short and long range, okay? Or also we can pass through multiple hubs. What are these hubs? These hubs is devices, gateway, the fog server or the cloud, as I explained before. Okay, so we have the different ways to do the transmission of the data, and also use the different protocols. For example, MQTT or HTTP, REST, or COAP. Okay, that will define how the messages are formatted and also transmitted. Okay, so it's important the capture, but also it's important how we will transmit, okay, the mean where we will transmit this data. And also, once it's transmitted data, how we will storage the data, okay, how we'll have the content of the data, and once it reaches the processing mode, that could be for cloud, okay. So data is stored. So this storage could be in time series data sets for sensors data, for example, or also could be for data lakes in the, warehouses, data warehouses for long-term or for historical analysis. So this step, okay, will do possible to see history and trends, so also train and retrain artificial intelligence models, and also maintain the data, okay, to reuse, okay, for make these decisions, and also adding more data, okay, that could be possible to take these decisions. So after the data is storage, we go to the artificial intelligence analyze. Okay, so in this process, we will process, use all models, for example, machine learning, data learning, deep learning, okay, for incoming data, okay. So we can process this data in real time for streaming, or using anomaly detection, instant risk scores, or classification. Okay, it depends on what the results that we can have or solve or produce. Okay, so in batch offline, also we can training new models and exploring the patterns of forecasting future behavior. That is very important. So as we saw, we have many models that may run on the edge that we explained before, with fast response in local control, but we have the fog that is also aggregate in local analysis, and also the cloud that is heavy analytic and large scale training. Okay. So after we use the appropriate models, we can have the outputs that includes, for example, the predictions, for example, the probability of heart failure in the next 24 hours. Also, it is possible if if I have all the information, okay, the patterns, the behaviors, how we be the reaction in this time. Also, the anomalies, for example, in industrial, okay, for example, unusual vibration patterns, for example, in a vehicle, for example, with the car is on the way, for example, there is a way this not in good way. So maybe with the pass of the cars, some components can be losing, okay? So this propagate vibration and also an accident. So these are anomalies. No, it could be also in the factories, okay? some of the big disasters in the world, like Fukushima and also in Russia, okay, there was but anomalies that was not detected at the moment. Okay, so these failures cause a very world tragedies. Okay, that cause of the lives of thousands of people. And also, we can have recommendations, okay? For example, reduce the speed of the machine, of the vehicle, or call the patient in, okay? Yeah, this is very important. Or, for example, control signal for actuators, okay? Could be a traffic light, for example, okay? And the next steps is the action and recommendation, okay? In this step, the action and recommendation is very important to know, understand, because the action will be based on artificial intelligence output in the system triggers, okay? Actually, as we saw in the conference of yesterday about, for example, the human resource evaluation with artificial intelligence, also with the Dr. Gita, okay? I was listening her conference, very interesting. And it's very important, okay, the results of these actions, okay? Because we need to understand the world is changing with this old technology, okay? And we have to ask our own question if we are prepared to take the challenge, okay? So it's important to take also automatic actions that we have. These actions could be with the actors change system states, okay? If I can open, close valves, for example, adjust ventilation, control medication pumps, or change traffic lights. Okay, these automatic change actions are very important, okay, for make fast decisions. And also policies, it can be hard-coded. For example, if I propose an algorithm with a condition, is risk is more than 0.9, shoot down machine, for example, okay? Or the learner optimize it, okay? So, but not all is technology also, okay? There is important the human in this loop of decisions. So it's very important because human could be take the appropriate decisions also, okay? Because the alert sends to dashboards or apps, okay, where clinician gets an alert about the patient at high risk. But who define high risk? And in high risk, what are the decisions that I have to take? So just a professional, a human with all the knowledge can take maybe the best decision, okay? So it's important the engineer that gets the notification about, for example, a machine likely to fail, okay? So it's very important the monitoring, the control, okay, by human. And also the farmers, for example, when receives a recommendation about irrigation of fertilizations. I have seen farmers that they do not have the technology but have the experience. So they can know at the moment if the amount of water is enough or not enough, because they have the experience. All their life they have in the same process. And also, it's important to know that the human decides whether to accept or modify or reject a recommendation. It's a decision. There is a feedback loop. In this feedback loop, we have the human actions, okay, and system results. That means that there could be success or failure that are logged, okay? So the data is later used to retrain and improve artificial intelligence models with continuous learning. But not all is artificial intelligence and Internet of Things developments. I used to use this important, okay, presentation that to know that the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2024 were two scientists that work on artificial intelligence. John Hopfield worked in what the neural networks that stores and recreates the patterns. Okay, that is where we were talking about the origins of artificial intelligence. But Geoffrey Hinton also works in what is the deep artificial neural networks that recognize the features. But the reflection is why two scientists that are not physics have the Nobel Prize? This is a signal. This is a signal that shows us that artificial intelligence is growing. And the technology, it's not stopped. It will continue in an accelerated way. But it's not the unique signal that we can notice. Because in 2024, there are three prizes, Nobel Prizes in Physics, 2025. John Clerk, Michael Deverett, and John Martinez. These three scientists, where they're working, they work in the macroscopic quantum mechanical channel effect and energy quantizations in an electrical circuits. Okay, what this means? What it means that they have done the change of the point of view of the classical physics to the quantum physics. So the signal, the word is telling us that artificial intelligence, quantum computing, okay, will transform the world. So the results, there are a superconducting systems with current quantum, okay, with energy tunnelization, okay, and this all enable, okay, to the superconducting qubit and quantum computers. Also, with the solver problem, okay, so very fast. Okay, so we need to take care in these advances. Okay, so in this integration of the artificial intelligence and Internet of the Things, I want to include also the quantum cryptography. Quantum cryptography for security, the industrial IoT, okay, and how to consider this process. So Actually, we have the rapid expansion of the industrial Internet of Things, that IIoT, that has introduced the critical security challenges. And it is very important because all the data transformed in information is power, is knowledge. So if we not ensure the information, okay, will be critical in the future. Okay. So these challenges is included the data breaches, the ransomware vulnerabilities that are arising from the convergence of operational technology, OT, and information technology. Because our day-to-day is managing information. Okay. So traditional security measures often fail to address these sophisticated threats, so necessitating a transition to the multiple layer defense strategy that can integrate also the artificial intelligence, the blockchain, and also the quantum computing. Okay. So the artificial intelligence, the behavior is served like a proactive brain of security. So we will use machine learning and deep learning, okay, and artificial intelligence system to analyze the massive data streams, the streams flow, to detect the anomalies in cyber attacks in real time. So these advanced techniques, such as federated learning, okay, it will enable the device to collaboratively train the threat detection models, okay. And also the deep reinforced learning is being used to automate the incident responses and optimize the resource allocation in this interaction. So if we join to this the blockchain, that will act like an immutable ledger, okay, ensuring the trust and providing the decentralization and transparency and tamper-proof records the IIoT data with these smart contracts. So it's very important to pay attention in this, okay, because these changes, okay, are facing the world. And also the quantum cryptography. The quantum cryptography also is a technology that represents an unbreakable shield against future trends. Okay, so we have a quantum computer advance that threatens to break traditional encryption schemes such as RSA and ACC. Okay, and we have the quantum key distribution, QKD, that liberates the principles of quantum mechanics, such as the no-cloning theorems, the Heisenberg's, the uncertainty principle, to create the secure communication channels, okay, that alert users to any eavesdropping attempts. Okay. So in this process, it's very important to know that the significant advances that lie in the synergy of these technologies, okay? And it's important taking account that the real-time threat detection is important, because late detection is just that we are vulnerable. Okay, so real-time threat detection with an immutable accountability, the artificial intelligence will detect, okay, the threats in real time, while blockchain logs every event in this immutable ledger. So the automated and verified response mechanisms, the artificial intelligence plus the smart contracts, okay? And also the future proofings with the quantum security and quantum cryptography that ensures the artificial intelligence process of data and this that are acquired by means of sensors like IoT, okay? So it's very important to save all the information. So it's important to pay attention in these changes that are coming in the world. And thank you very much. I appreciate you the opportunity you can hear me in this conversation that I can share with you. I'm finished.
That was a very wonderful overview, I should say, a very in-depth knowledge, Professor Sir, regarding we started with IoT, and then we go to AIoT, talked about quantum cryptography, blockchain. I was just thinking, and I just remembered, the more we learn, we realize that we just know one drop, and there is a whole ocean that we need to know. That much of information is, still there for us to learn and understand things in the world. A very in-depth knowledge you shared with us, sir. There was one question that was sent to me in the chat personally. We can take artificial intelligence of things as a emerging technology, right, sir?
Yes.
And yeah, and it is very useful when we want to design a smart city.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were talking about cloud, edge, fog, its interconnectivity, and how it can be used. But what about the cyber security part?
Okay, yeah, good question. Okay, so as I explained, cybersecurity is actually a very important condition that we need to pay attention, because all information is has a value. I remember when I read the book of Bill Gates, when he says, in the future, information will be in the value on the more value, okay, that all we will depend of information. So actually, we have many information. For example, in university, the grades of the students, the health of the students, the condition of the students. Okay, there are many information that it should be protected. But maybe there are not the technology conditions that can ensure this protection. So we have, as I explained, we have the artificial intelligence, the fog or the cloud. Okay, actually, the cloud is using more companies are using the cloud because this and the starts no many persons as companies trust on cloud because they ask how I can send all my information to the cloud that who can be ensure me that it will be protect the information. Okay, but the reality, what say to us? The reality says that we cannot manage all the amount of information. All we can know by any time servers in the university or in the hospital. We need to use the cloud. So also is very important. We need to trust, but also we need to do the right contracts. For example, use blockchains. That is a technology also very important to protect the contracts or the information to ensure this information. Mhm.
Thank you, sir. And there was one more question. AI is being used a lot, and there is a lot of manipulated information that we get on the social media. So, how do we differentiate? Which do we take as correct? How do we understand? If I could give a small situation or scenario on this, I think right now in our solar system, we have an interstellar object that is going by. And we call it, I think, the three-eye atlas. So we have a lot of manipulated information, and that is thanks to the AI, where they are generating so many things. So how do we know that when we get this kind of information on social media, which is right, which is not right?
Well, you know, actually, the advance of artificial intelligence is incredible. Really, every day, every moment, every second, we have new technology. Okay, I remember when it was difficult, for example, transcribe an audio. Okay, so many algorithms processing the information, but always not exactly all. Actually, all with the artificial intelligence is easy to do it with the phone also. Also, the images, the manipulating images. Okay, actually, we need to be how to say, I don't know how to say, we need to develop an expertise to analyze what movement, for example, in a video is not a human movement, to understand that is artificial intelligence. And also with the social networks, okay, and all communication, for example, in TikTok, for example, that is used actually, you can find many information that is not true. Okay, the people also use bots to get more rating. Okay, and so they invent information, create information, okay, manipulate information, okay, to get the attention of the people. So as for example, also in writing, for example, in writing scientific papers, documentations, also all the systems that detect similarities used to detect the artificial intelligence, okay, production. And also there are others that humanize. Okay, it's a fight between who can lie to it to others. Okay, so there is important to my opinion is to have the right information. There was a project of Watson from IBM that used to have all the information, the right information storage in a servers. Okay, no communication with internet, no communication with phone, no communication external. Also, as the security in the wars, most of the security in the wars do not connect internet to the information because they are on risk that be penetrated, okay, with to gather the information. So yes, it's a word very understable that that all the communication we can how we can trust all the information, okay, how we can go to the source and really, okay, I don't know if in India happened, but in Peru you can find the same information in the newspaper has different point of view, the same information, okay, the same information, okay. So what is the truth? Okay, so we are living in the world where we can uh, before to take a decisions, okay, it's important ensure that is the right. But the worry is when we have systems that take action, okay, with false information, for example. This is the worry, okay? So we need to take care with the information that we acquire, okay? We get information to process later, okay?
Yes, yes. We also need to be very careful when we search for information. We need to
Yes.
literally understand whether the information what we have searched is the right information or it is again, a modulated or a manipulated information. We need to as human beings do that analysis. So we
Yeah.
cannot leave it to the AI to give us the correct information.
Yes, it's correct.
Uh, Audience, participants, any question? Anybody? You can unmute yourself and ask.
Hello, sir. This is Dr. Ajit.
Okay, doctor, nice to hear you.
So, good evening. So, it was a very in-depth topic, and since it is very trendy, IoT, and then other things, even my question with the last speaker was the same. That is there any mechanism or anything which is happening at the global level where the ethical practices and the data privacy could be the priority, because I could understand, I could referring it to Data Privacy Act DPDP here in India as well as in Europe, but I don't see any global framework which can really take it to this technology and usage of the data of the individual. What is your call on it? Like, are you expecting something on it, or will it? I mean, or will it take some more time?
Yes, yes, you are right. As we discussed, is a very worried about to have a framework that really can protect all the information. Okay, a global framework. Okay, there are some, for example, in different countries are different strategies, but we live in different worlds. We live in different cities. There are different behaviors, okay, different cultures also. Um, uh, but also we have the same needs, and also we have the same problems, or problems with transportations, the traffic, problems with health, problems with criminality, okay. This is a very, very, very good question, but it knows technology is trying to process, okay, to get the devices, to get the information, acquire information by IoT, technology try to process with using algorithms, models, okay, or artificial intelligence, but what ensure that the data that is processing is really the following the ethical patterns that you as you protect. Okay, I think this is a word that should be aboard, and this is a good subject or topic of research. Okay, evaluate because the growing of technology is accelerated. Okay, and so we are not seeing how to protect this data in the future. Okay, I understand your worry, and also I I I I do not find any framework or global framework that visualize this risk. Okay, but maybe they are working on that. Okay, I'm not sure actually.
Thank you, Professor. I think, as you mentioned, that it itself needs some research, and definitely I'll explore, and if it is possible, definitely I'll reach up to you if any update on this. Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you for your question. Thank you.
Preeta ma'am, a few words from you.
Yeah, actually, Rodrigo, very nice your presentation, and it was actually more technical. I was thinking that MBA students, MBA faculty, and but then also I think they enjoyed your session, and because you were talking more about in depth about IoT, in depth about algorithm, in depth about, but really very nice. I think Sahana ma'am, it was very nice and understandable to everyone. Yeah.
Yes, Preeta
But
ma'am,
he has,
it is
but he has given
understandable, very
yes, yes,
understandable.
yes, yes. Thank you, Sir Rodrigo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prita, Madam Prita. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you,
Nice
thank
to
you.
hear you. I'm very happy to stay here and sharing with you this opportunity to share knowledge, okay, and also our collaboration, because we are not young in this in this collaboration. We
Yes,
are in the pandemic situation. We start our collaboration, and we will continue with this collaboration. Okay, always count with my support.
thank you. And from this platform, I just want to announce to everyone that we have signed MOU with his university also. So if anyone who want to do the research collaboration, he's a very kind person to collaborate for book chapter writing or common paper or writing textbook. So anyone who is interested, his domain is AI and IoT. So, and you can, Sahana ma'am, from your side, you can invite anyone, and he will be very happy to collaborate for the research, especially.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that. Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
I,
it will be great help if you please share the details of the resource person. I think if, or via through you, Sahana ma'am.
yes, sir. I would do it. Uh, Preeta ma'am, actually not just management faculty. We do have CS, IS, AIML,
Oh,
EC
very
faculty.
nice.
Many of them from engineering background are also there in this
Okay.
ATAL FDP program today. So
Okay.
not
Okay.
just management.
Okay. Then it's very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice to know. Then I think people will be very happy to collaborate in the research paper, in the book chapter. So he will be happy to, and he came to our college.
Yes, yes, I remember,
Mm.
ma'am.
Yes,
I
yes,
remember. I remember
yes.
that.
So he's
So
very, very happy to collaborate. That I know.
sure, sure.
Mm.
And I'm already getting in the chat a lot of messages asking for sir's email ID as well as the details. Yeah, please share an email of sir, please address for MOU. So I definitely get in touch with you, Preeta ma'am, and we could see how we can help the people in collaborating. And
Sure.
of course, with Professor Rodriguez also appreciate.
Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeta ma'am. It's
Thank
Preeta ma'am who supported me in getting Roderick sir on this platform. So my heartfelt gratitude to Preeta ma'am on this occasion. I would like to place my heartfelt thanks to Preeta ma'am on this platform. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Sanam. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sir, I would discuss with you and then I would share your mail and other details to the participants so that they could collaborate with you in case they are interested.
Yes, very nice. Also, I'll let you know that we are working on new programs of postgraduate in master and doctoral postgraduate. And also, will be nice to come with some teachers that can teach at my university from these topics about artificial intelligence and machine learning, IoT, blockchain, and quantum computing. That is actually
Yes.
is very important in this
Yes.
upgrading work.
So, okay. So if no more questions, anybody else? Anyone wants to ask a question, they can unmute themselves. And we should know, I would like to tell the participants the time difference between India and Peru. I think we are in the night and they are in the day of December 2nd, and we are very close to 9 o'clock. And I think you are at 10:30 or AM of December 2nd, right? Yeah. Okay. Now I call upon Dr. Sunita to propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening, dear participants. It is my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks for this enlightening and thought-provoking session on Internet of Things and artificial intelligence integration. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our distinguished international speaker, Professor Dr. Ciro Rodriguez from Lima, Peru. Sir, your expertise in electronic engineering, computer science, and particularly in cybersecurity has provided us with invaluable insights into the integration of IoT and AI. Your session has broadened our perspective on next generation management technologies. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Preeta Sharan, Dean R&D, the Oxford College of Engineering, for her dedicated efforts and instrumental role in making this international session possible. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my sincere gratitude to our esteemed chairman, Dr. SNVL Narsimharaju Garu, for his visionary leadership and unwavering support in successfully organizing this faculty development program. My heartfelt thanks to our principal, Dr. Rakesh SG, for his continuous encouragement and for fostering an environment that promotes academic growth and faculty excellence. We also express our sincere appreciation to the AICTE Training and Learning ATAL Academy for sponsoring this comprehensive 6-day online FDP and for providing us with this valuable platform for collective learning and professional development. I thank all the faculty members and participants who have actively engaged in this session, making it interactive and meaningful. Thank you.
If all the participants can put on their video, we could have a photo. All the participants.
Be louder one more time.
Just a minute, I've got the gallery view. I'll just take a. Thank you, participants. Thank you, Roderick sir, very much for being available for this session. And the link is there in the chat. Participants, please fill it. Thank you very much for your patient listening and the learning we have had today. And a small announcement for tomorrow. Tomorrow would be a full session on programming, and it would be from 6 to 9, 2 sessions handled by the same person. One would be a technical part, and then the hands-on session that we would be having. So I know it would be a long session. I would probably request for a small break in between, but the continuity is a 2 session on programming so that we learn something where we could use it in our research or in our programming as well as in our decision-making activities.